Before we begin, viewer discretion is strongly advised. The following is for educational and entertainment purposes only. This is the courtroom testimony of the Sean Diddy Combs trial, as reported by the press. The courtroom door didn't just open. It sighed, one of those slow, aching exhalations that makes even cynics glance up. Conversation halted mid-syllable, pen tips hovered a millimeter above notepads, and the fluorescent ceiling lights suddenly felt like spotlights glaring off polished benches. No bailiff announced her. No PR team cleared a path. Oprah Winfrey simply drifted in, quiet lightning wrapped in slate blue silk and the kind of unhurried grace that said she owned every inch of oxygen in the room. Step, click. Each heel strike echoed like a metronome synchronizing adrenaline spikes. Reporters who'd spent 2 monotonous weeks live blogging legalese finally forgot their laptops and stared. A juror's coffee cup paused halfway to his lips, steam curling in stasis. The federal seal above the bench, dimmed by routine, suddenly looked regal again, as if it too recognized a cultural monarch. Oprah reached the witness rug, 3 paces of neutral tweed that separates sworn testimony from the ordinary, and pivoted to face the jury. She didn't adjust her blazer or clear her throat. She simply raised her chin, inhaled once and let 5 syllables slice the air like tempered glass. He is in fact innocent. No crescendo, no trembling vibrato, only certainty so solid it felt heavier than the stone columns lining the gallery. You could almost hear thousands of thumbs tremble above screens, waiting to tweet what, but paralyzed by disbelief. Because in that one heartbeat, the gravitational center of United States fell. Sean Combs shifted a full Atlantic inch to the left. Inside the press pen, a social media coordinator mouthed, "Please tell me someone's live streaming this." A court sketch artist snapped a charcoal stick trying to catch Oprah's exact jawline. Even Judge Stanton, legendary for chewing grandstanding attorneys into confetti, leaned imperceptibly forward, eyebrows lifted in what might pass, for him, as shock. Beyond these walls, push alert servers lit up brighter than Times Square. Editors scrambled, do we recut the lower third? Do we yank the guilty looks likely headline? Broadcast anchors who'd already rehearsed moral outrage monologues suddenly reached for filler scripts. Because the queen of empathetic interrogation had just tossed a credibility grenade into a narrative 2 solid weeks in the making. Let's rewind, because context isn't just king, it's the entire royal court. For 14 relentless days, Assistant U.S. Attorney Renee Park hammered a tale so lurid, it made prestige true crime docuseries look underfunded. Control private flights rerouted at a whim. Phones bagged in Faraday sleeves, NDAs thicker than Grammys. Manipulation promises of career catapults swapped for whispered threats of, "You'll never record again." Freak-offs, late-night parties described in testimony as half eyes wide shut, half pharmaceutical expo, MDMA and champagne flutes, silenced phone cameras and a soundtrack of unreleased demo tracks to mask unwanted noises. Homeland Security bodycam footage played on day 4 showed tactical teams clearing Persian rug hallways, swinging open medicine cabinet shelves stocked like a micro-pharmacy. Ketamine, liquid ecstasy, powder-filled capsules color-coded for potency. An armorer testified about disassembled AR-15s packed inside Louis Vuitton trunks to avoid unsightly rifle cases. And every mention of Cassie Ventura's $20 million settlement glowed in the jurors' minds like a neon verdict sign. By day 15, guilty felt pre-printed on everyone's recap articles. Even Diddy's defense bench radiated that exhausted hope you see on sports teams, trailing 4-0 in the 9th inning, still swing, but mostly out of muscle memory. Then came the side door cameo that upended the scoreboard. Oprah didn't bring adjectives, she brought artifacts. The leather binder thunked onto the podium with the subtle authority of a closing Bible. Brass index tabs glinting. Charity A99. Hurricane Telethon ped-in, Gulfstream logs. Q1, Q2 2013. Mentorship wire transfers. Prosecution claim 2 dancers lured to a Tribeca loft. Forced substances, filmed for leverage. Oprah's counter and network production rundown. Stamped September 18, 2010. Listing Combs as live co-host for a hurricane relief telecast. Time-coded wide shots captured him on camera at the exact hour of the alleged abuse. Stage manager's signatures, control room transcripts, backstage selfies all matching. Jurors leaned forward so hard, the bailiff actually slid an evidence card aside to give them a clearer view. Prosecution timeline, April 2013, midnight private jet to New York. Cassie isolated in a penthouse until sunrise. Oprah's document, Gulfstream GS 550 invoice, Tail hash N20 through Freemaningways, SC, departing Teterboro at 11:08 p.m., landing Miami Opelika at 2:57 a.m. Passenger manifest listing a Latin Grammy delegation and zero Cassie Ventura. Attached TSA digital gate codes, crew phone GPS pings, and a customs clearance photo showing Diddy flashing a double peace sign beside a rescue relief banner. Copies of late night bank wires, $150 K here, $75 K there. Funding scholarship endowments for Howard University STEM students micro grants for Southside Chicago music programs. He flexes diamonds in public. Oprah summarized, but I know the man who signs the checks at 2 a.m. asking do they have enough laptops. Prosecutors objected. Hearsay relevance foundation. Judge Stanton overruled with mild amusement. Counsel, if the government has already argued Mr. Combs' timeline, it seems fair for the witness to present a competing one. Translation. You open this door, they can walk through it. Documents alone weren't the kill shot. Oprah turned cultural surgeon, sliding a fan of color printouts across the railing. Meme montages showing Combs in cartoon shackles. Reddit threads overlaying mansion floor plans with red arrows pointing to non-existent cages. Influencers packaging third-hand gossip into monetized confessionals. The biggest headline read, Diddy = Preda. Thread followed by 5.4 million views. Once a hashtag hits escape velocity, she told the jury, it stops asking if each pixel is real. It only asks, will this go viral? She paused, letting 5 decades of media mastery underscore the point. Same outlets that once crowned Combs Renaissance mogul were now feeding on carcass clicks. She dubbed it cultural convenience. Praise him for Innovation Monday. Crucify him for Imagination Friday. Profit both days. Social media's favorite horror story deserved its own subchapter. Viral TikToks stitch shaky drone shots over ominous synth music, alleging clandestine tunnels under Diddy's homes, complete with hydraulic doors, CCTV nests, and velvet-lined playrooms. Oprah unspooled municipal blueprints, 8-inch foundation, no sub-basement allowances, due to earthquake code. She produced a LiDAR cross-section from LA County, solid earth straight down 60 feet. Contractors' affidavits. Insurance surveys. Punchline. If candles in a locked basement equaled felony trafficking, half of Hollywood would be serving triple life. A polite ripple of laughter flickered across the gallery. The juror's pen scratched again. Tunnel claim. Debunked. Days earlier, Monique's livestream had blasted Oprah, Tyler Perry and Diddy for an alleged blacklist that choked my career like a vice. Her tear-streaked testimony felt nuclear. Talk show panels replayed it on a loop. Oprah didn't duck it. She leaned in, owning her 2010 interview with Monique's brother. A decision I regret because it caused her pain. But she pivoted. Regret does not mutation into felony evidence. Blackballing is messy, she conceded, but racketeering statutes require more than hurt feelings. She showed jurors an industry arbitration packet proving Monique's disputes hinged on back-end percentages, not sexual coercion conspiracies. Emotional truth row criminal proof. With the binder's last tab shut, Oprah changed lenses. Study history, she urged, and you'll spot a pattern. America can lionize a black man's genius on Monday and cannonball his legacy on Tuesday if the clicks pay better. She cited Michael Jackson's public execution, by rumor, Kobe's pivot from pariah to saint only post-mortem, and the algorithmic lynch mobs that sometimes falsely amplify, sometimes rightly expose, but always monetize. Ask yourselves, she continued. When did retweets outrank sworn oaths? She met each juror's gaze, 12 quiet confrontations. Justice is deliberate. Mobs are immediate. Choose. Oprah ended with a soft-spoken anecdote. In 2021, Combs canceled a keynote after yet another rumor, this time bribery. Sponsors fled in 48 hours. He phoned Oprah, voice hollow. I've made mistakes, he admitted, but I don't know who I am anymore. She let the silence swell. We preach redemption, she whispered, yet build no off-ramps back from condemnation. Judge Stanton signaled the gavel break. 5 hours of testimony evaporated like a dream, and yet felt carved into marble. Court recessed, leaving 12 jurors in possession of the prosecution's visceral footage, and Oprah's time-stamped receipts. The tension inside that deliberation chamber would soon rival any streaming series cliffhanger. Outside, news vans overheated broadcasting hot take volleys. Inside, jurors weighed digital hysteria against notarized fact. Did Oprah plant real reasonable doubt, or just Oscar-level theater? The defense still clutched her binder like a flotation device. The The prosecution still wielded rape photos, encrypted phone dumps, Cassie's tear-stained chronology. Which evidence would crown the narrative? In a world where headlines outshout nuance, the verdict no longer lived only inside marble walls. It rippled through fiber optic cables, stock markets, and brand safety boardrooms. If Combs walked, the internet would cry cover up. If he stayed behind bars, op-eds would call it clickbait, justice served cold. Either way, Oprah's 5 words etched themselves into legal folklore. A meteor strike that forced everyone, jurors, journalists, doom scrollers, to decide whether they trusted the algorithm or the actual. Because when a society devours reputations in real time, justice itself sits in the dock, subject to the court of swipe opinion. And the jury isn't just 12 people in Manhattan. It's every finger hovering above a share button. So the next notification you tap, it might not merely update you. It could very well be the unspoken gavel that seals someone else's fate. Make sure you know why you're clicking.